Hey you guys, and welcome back. So I'm going to get back to the video series that I started probably day before yesterday from when I upload this video. But I wanted to do this video because something has been on my mind today. And so this kind of just like dropped in my spirit because everybody seems to think that the false prophet is the Pope, or not necessarily even this Pope, but will be a Pope. And so what most people don't realize is that there's not just one Pope, okay? But when someone says the Pope, most people think of the one at the Vatican, right? But there's another Pope, and I think like the one at the Vatican is considered like the Roman Catholic Pope, and then the other one is like the Orthodox Pope. So that would be the Pope, like when you see people over in Russia, when they go to their churches and things like that, they're under that Pope. I think it's called like the Orthodox Pope, or Pope over the Orthodox Church, or something like that. So there's not just one Pope when it comes to like the Catholic Church. And so I was thinking about that, and it's like, because many Christians don't even know that the Christian faith is tied to the Catholic Church. Like when I was growing up, I thought that the Pope was just for like the Catholic people. I didn't know that all of the Christian churches were tied to the Pope. And so when you think about it, really the only Christians who really kind of have that sort of respect for the Pope, because most other Christians are looking at him and thinking that, eventually one of them is going to be the Antichrist. So most just regular everyday Christians don't even revere or think about the Pope in that way. Most of the people who have that sort of respect and following for the Pope are people who are Catholic, right? And so when I was thinking about it, when it comes to when the Antichrist is going to come on the scene, the false prophet is really going to be, validating, using whatever kind of respect or importance that he or it has in order to kind of validate the Antichrist. It's going to be a tool in his hand when he comes on the scene. And so when you think about it, Satan is trying to mimic and show himself as being like the Most High, or trying to show himself as being the Most High, or equivalent to the Most High. And so he's going to have his son, which is the Antichrist. He's going to have his temple, and he's going to have his priests and prophets. Right? And so you have all of these things coming together. You have a certain particular people over there in the land who are saying they are the people, which would mean that they are supposedly the priests and the prophets of the Most High. The thing is, they are in the process of trying to build a temple, which we already know is not a temple of the Most High. Okay? Everybody knows that. Even the Christians who support the people over in that land, they send money to them. The red heifers that they got over there for the sacrifice, they got those from, I think, a Christian farmer here in America. They were still missing a diamond for the ephod. And I think someone, I can't remember where the diamond came from. I think they were trying to get it from someone here in America, and it fell through or something like that. But you have people who are believers, who are Christians, who say they are Christians, who are doing everything that they can to help them to get this temple built, even though they know that they're doing it to try to bring about their Messiah, which all of the Christians worldwide know and recognize that their Messiah will be who they call the Antichrist, right? Even the Muslims, I forgot what they call the Antichrist, but they believe that their Messiah, who will be coming into the temple that they will be building, will be the Antichrist. And they have, I think it's called the Dajjal is what they call it, or whatever. So everybody knows that this temple that they're trying to build is going to be making the way for the Antichrist. And so if they are making the way for the Antichrist, then why would you have a false prophet that's way over there in the Vatican in Rome that most people don't really even recognize or acknowledge, or they don't even really have any sort of respect for, because they think that one of them will eventually be the false prophet. And not only that, but there are many, many, many people who believe that the Antichrist himself will actually be one of the popes. So most people kind of have a leery eye when it comes to who people call or who people think of as the Pope. So you have most of the people who are in Christianity not even recognizing the Pope as any sort of leadership or anyone that they want to be associated with. But in terms of the Bible, the priest and the prophet of the Most High are his people, right? They are his people, the descendants of Jacob. It didn't include any of the, other nations or strangers or anyone of that sort. It was his people who were considered his priests and his prophets. And so when the Antichrist come on the scene, again, Satan tries to mimic the Most High, so he's going to have his priests and his prophets as well, who are going to be doing things to usher in his will and his plan. And so when you go to Revelation 2 and 9, where the Messiah is having a conversation with John, and it says, or he says, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. A synagogue is a temple. So it's essentially saying that they are the temple of Satan. Okay, whoever it is that these people are that this scripture is talking about. And so I'm going to do word study on this, and I'm going to see if there's a difference between the words. If they use different words, then I'm going to put the information down in the description box. And if it's the same word, then I'm just not going to worry about it. Okay, because essentially it means the same thing. Synagogue is a temple, it's a place of worship. Okay, and so the scripture is saying that these people that are being referenced are the synagogue of Satan. And so if they are the synagogue of Satan, what does a synagogue or a temple have? The temple has the priests and the prophets. So I think that in this scripture, the Messiah pretty much told us who the false prophet was going to be. And it's not necessarily just one person. So it may be one person who's the head, and then those who are under, a main one, the prophets under them, the priests under them, whatever kind of organizational structure there is to create a body. But it has to be an institution that many people kind of revere, respect, have love and adoration for, because whatever reputation they have, they're going to use that to validate and give validation to the Antichrist when he comes on the scene. And so for those who view the people over in that land as the people, I know that's going to be a shocking statement to them, but I want everyone who is listening to this to think about something. You have our nation who gives billions of dollars to the people over in that land every single year. That is not including the billions and billions and billions of dollars that they get from churches all around the world. Okay, that's not including those funds. That's not including the help. That's not including the resources. That's not including the people who go over to that land and just help them with whatever it is that they need. And so you have all of these Christians, and as I said before, including the Muslims, but they're not sending the money and helping them like that. But you have all of these Christians who sit in their churches and they preach and they teach, and they know that the Messiah that they are waiting on is actually the Antichrist. And so they take their money and they take their funds and they take their efforts and they take their help and they send it to these people, knowing that they are helping to hasten and usher in the arrival of the Antichrist, which is Satan's representative here on the earth. And the rationale is because so many Christians believe that when the Antichrist shows up and exposes himself and is like, haha, here I am, this is who I am, then they're expecting Jesus to crack the sky open and just lift them up and float them on up to heaven. But I just want to leave you on this note, okay? I just want to leave you on this note, right? Can you imagine the Most High looking down on these people who purport to follow him, to love and follow his son and his teachings? And all of these people are coming together to help a group of people who have books outside of the Bible that say that our Messiah is in hell, boiling in excrement, and who they know themselves are bringing or preparing the way for the Antichrist. And so these Christians are sending money and providing support and cheering on and doing everything that they can to hasten the arrival of who they know and teach. They teach this in the churches globally, that the Messiah that they are waiting on will be the Antichrist. So the Most High is sitting there watching these people, providing support and providing out of the provision that He has given to them to hasten the arrival of the Antichrist, who would be the pretty much like the son of Satan, who is the enemy of our God and His Son. And they think that when they do everything that they can to hasten the arrival of the enemy of the Most High and His Son, our Messiah, that then the Most High is going to reward them for hastening evil onto the earth by sending His Son to go and get them and take them back to heaven. I just want you to think about that. If anybody who's getting upset by what they're hearing in this video, I just want you to think about that the Most High has blessed you, has given you provision. You take that provision, you take the works of your hand, and you send it to and lend it to people who you know and you teach and you have been taught are making the way for the enemy and the son of Satan, who is also the enemy, the head enemy of the Most High. You are taking what He has given you and you are trying to help to hasten the arrival of the enemy of the Most High God of all of creation, in the hopes that when you help the devil to accomplish his goal, then the Most High God will reward you by sending His Son to come get you and take you to heaven. Okay, and that's going to be it for this video. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. I will be so happy to have you. You guys have a great day, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks.